Okay. Okay, so welcome everybody to today's presentation. If you wanted to just put yourselves on mute as the presentation's going on, and then feel free, you could unmute yourself to ask any questions that you may have for Shay. And I am just going to do a brief introduction here. So I would like to welcome back Shay Belanger from Full Circle Immigration. With over a decade of experience in career development and community engagement, Shay is passionate about helping individuals and organizations build meaningful connections that drive success. As a certified career development practitioner and business owner herself, Shay has worked extensively in partnership development, fostering collaborations that enhance professional growth and expanding business reach. So welcome, Shay.
Thanks so much, Lori. It's nice to see you again. Tidbit of information. I also used to work for Paro with Lori for like 2 years. So was a business growth advisor. So yeah, I have a little bit of experience doing that too. So I know you all have a business growth advisor, which you've been getting assistance from. So that's great. Paro's a really good organization to be a part of and very empowering for women. And I'm very appreciative that Lori let me come back here and like do some presentations through my business. Um, so a little bit about me. I worked for 10 years with Newcomers to Canada. I did some employer engagement, community connections, volunteer coordination for newcomers, employment, high school employment help. So that's I do some career coaching within my business. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I could probably go to the next slide where it says some of this stuff. Okay, here I am. So I'm also, as I'm talking here, can you also put your businesses into the chat so I just know where people are from? So if I have more like insights as I'm going through and kind of see for examples, it'd be good to know what your business is. So yeah, I'm situated in Ottawa. I have these different designations. I also have a large reach on LinkedIn, which is something I use a lot for partnerships, connections, so on and so forth. It's a free platform, which you don't get a lot of free marketing things very much. Lori, if you can just put in the chat, did you put the booklet? Yes.
Yeah, I just dropped it in there.
We're on track here. So you can also open that up. We're going to refer back to it throughout the presentation. So yeah, I post a lot of things about job fairs and stuff like that, connections, different trainings you can do. So you can start building your connections now if you want with me. If you have any questions throughout, if you want to put them in the chat, I'll look at them every once in a while. While I'm doing the presentation, we only have an hour and I have like quite a lot of information for everybody to have. But don't worry, a lot of the most highlighted parts are in the booklet so that ones you'll want to refer back to are in there. Okay, thanks so much for sharing in the chat some of the businesses that you do. So our plan is to look at partnership opportunities, look at potential partners that might align with your business goals and values. We're going to understand some effective collaboration models, learn how to use each model, look at gaining insights into negotiation and agreement processes. And then we're going to learn about that and look at formalizing mutually beneficial partnerships. So this is in your booklet. It's just an overview of building strategic partnerships for growth. So the first thing is to identify complementary businesses, define mutual goals and benefits, offer value to partners, leverage each other's networks, collaborate on content creation, measure and analyze performance. So I'll give you one of my examples of what I did to form a strategic partnership. So with me, I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, so I can do immigration paperwork for anybody who's coming into Canada. I chose to work with my career development practitioner because it comes more naturally to me to do that and help with newcomers with settlement and career services. It's kind of one of my passions too. So what I did was connect with some RCICs that I know, and then I look at referring to them for immigration related services that people reach out to me for, and they refer to me, career people who are looking for jobs when coming or before coming. So it's like a mutually beneficial goal for both of us. In some instances too, some immigration consultants do look at finder's fee, I guess you can say. So you can make mutual partnerships too, where if you're doing referrals to them or they're doing referrals to you, you could do it as monetary. You can also do it as like looking at services as well that you can just collaborate and beneficially give to each other. So looking at what you can actually offer. So I looked at myself and I said, okay, I can offer career services, and I saw the linkage to it and the need, right? So every newcomer who's coming here needs a job. So it's very I do some smart connections, and I think everybody wants to do smart connections where they're networking and connecting with people who can help them along their path. So you're leveraging each other's network in this way is kind of what I explained. There's different things where you collaborate on content creation. Actually, Monday, I connected with one of the RCICs, and we presented to Algonquin College. So she presented postgraduate work permits, and I presented career services and informational interviews. And then you look at measuring and analyzing performance. So like, I think there was only 5 students there, but it's possible that they will then reach out to us for more help. And this partner that I have, I often refer her to clients. So it's mutually beneficial. That's the most important thing, I think, is that how can I help you and how can you help me? So we're both winning at this whole business thing. So looking at the models that I mentioned, co-branding, so shared branding initiatives to amplify reach. So that would be to, like, with Algonquin College, we had a poster that was made by the college to promote the event, right? So she got my logo and all that stuff. I actually had a student reach out to me before the event as well, just from seeing that poster. So very helpful. And like in this instance, I didn't do anything. I just set my logo. So it's also how can I save time and get the most reach out of that. So joint ventures, combining resources for a shared goal. So that's an example of that. Strategic alliances, long-term partnerships for mutual benefits. So this RCIC2 actually reached out to me 6 years ago on LinkedIn and asked me for some feedback about being an RCIC and what school I went to and how I studied, and we're still in connection now. We lost connection for like a year and a half, and then we reached out. So as long as you're fostering good foundations, which I'm certain that a lot of you already do, and you're here to enhance how that you're doing that, and we all have to kind of do what works for us, right? So one of the examples is a university partners with a local business to provide ongoing internships and research collaborations. So that's an example of strategic alliances for long-term partnerships. A fitness brand and a health food company want to launch a new product together. So the co-branding. 2 tech startups decide to pool their resources to create a brand new app. So you'll see that with strategic alliances, or sorry, joint ventures. This is also in the booklet so that you have that there for you to look at later. Let me see here. And then I have a reflection question in the booklet too that you can do. And my expectation for you, I know nobody's going to check up on you to do this, but it's to actually action things. The way I do presentations is I want people to have actionable steps when they leave to continue on, because a lot of the time you go to presentations, you listen, and then that's it. That's why this booklet is here to help you to continue on your journey and like be successful in that. So I hope that everybody goes into it and uses it and creates that valuable time for yourself to get situated. I think one of the things when I started was just time. Like I work full time as well at Carleton University as an international student success coordinator. So it's like being very organized with your time to be able to make a plan for yourself to do things. So just looking at business networking here, there's plenty of ways to do it informally. Maybe you're on a a sports team that you meet people and you get to know what they do. You gain knowledge from connecting with people, you find those opportunities, you're interacting and preparing and functioning too with also being able to talk about your business. So the more networking you do, you get your pitch ready, you are able to practice that more and more and become more comfortable as well. Looking at your interests, growing your relationships, being out in the community, look at your marketing, connecting. And then to end, when we're doing all this, we get success, hopefully, create strategies, have customers, and then learn along the way. So these are all things that are small things, small words, but make a big difference. So I'll give you another example on LinkedIn for my business. Somebody reached out to me from Charity Village and asked me to do an article. So I was very scared, honestly, because I was like, what if I get so many people and I can't handle what's happening? I have a full dungeon list. So it took me like 6 months to actually do it. I messaged him back and forth. And then once I did, I felt so accomplished. So sometimes you're scared, and that's okay because you maybe never navigated this stuff before. So Charity Village actually has 120,000 subscribers. I didn't get paid to do that, but it's marketing. And all I had to do was write one article and it went out to all those people. So it's also seeing how you can put yourself out on LinkedIn as well and looking at the ways that you are showing up on there. If you have 2 ideas about the joint ventures or the strategic alliances or co-branding, you could put those on there on your LinkedIn, stating that, I'm looking to these kinds of brand initiatives. These are joint ventures I could see. If you have a business and you think that we could collaborate together, sometimes it's just telling people exactly what you want. Because sometimes people don't put the connections together themselves, right? So it's looking at that and kind of once you figure it out, you do some information on the workbook and you could put this up on your website. Hey, I'm open to co-branding, I'm open to strategic alliances. These are the ways I want to partner. These are the types of sectors that I would like to partner with. This is my, client base. So those are kind of things that you could do as well. So how do you find these partners? Like, where am I going, right? So if we go down to the next page in the booklet, I have all this written there for you, what is on here. So looking at online platforms and networks, and I just talk about LinkedIn all the time because it works for me, but you need to do what works for you. I know there's Instagram, I know there's TikTok, people use that, people use, I'm not newspapers anymore because they don't get to anyone, but looking at, well, I guess maybe if your client base was senior citizens or older generation, I know that it's not as big, right? You can also look at your newspaper online though too. I don't know how many people do that, but yeah, it's up to you what you do. So here you can look for individuals with specific skills, also industry experience or entrepreneurial backgrounds. So you can join relevant business groups too and participate in those discussions. So for instance, I'm a part of the Immigration Refugees Citizenship Canada group for RCICs. So this also saves you time because you're not looking for things, it's just coming up on your feed. If you follow that group, stuff will come up on the feed that's available. So I also follow here in Ottawa, there's World Skills Employment Center. So I follow them as well because they post things and I tag them. So there's expanded things that you can do once getting connected with those groups. So looking at industry specific associations. So sometimes people are registered, right? Like me, I'm a certified career development practitioner. There is the Connexus that happens every year in Ottawa, and it's a conference that usually costs $700. But I volunteered for the last 4 years, and basically, honestly, all I had to do was direct traffic like 3 times during the day, and that free food, and then I could just go to the workshops. And then it was 3 days, and I only had to do 2 shifts of 7 hours. So the third day, I just could go. And I have a whole bunch of connections in the career development sector from working in it for 4 years. So this is a time where I can crunch myself in to connect with a lot of partners that at one space, as well as gain information. So I'm helping Connexus and Circ. I'm also gaining, I'm also saving money. So it's thinking about ways to do things too that benefit you but benefit others. And I also have to have a CPD hour, so it's like professional development hours, so I get those as well. So looking at that kind of stuff is very helpful. I would look at conferences in your area, even online conferences. Sometimes they want help, so there's all kinds of registered bodies. There might also just be a group like that is for women that has a conference. Like for instance, Pero is having a conference right tomorrow. I'm not sure if people are going, but the Women's Day connection to that. So if you're also attending that, I don't know if they need partners, they have a lot of, or sorry, volunteers, they have a lot of staff members, but that's an example for you. It's something you could do, you could go, you know, there are certain things that you would save on and still be a part of. Looking at the Business Development of Canada, BDC offers resources, events, advisory services as well. They also have networking opportunities on there. The Canada Business Network, it's a government website that gives resources per province and territorial business organizations. Again, networking events, it's going out there. The more you practice, as I mentioned, the more you get better at talking. And maybe too, you're extroverted and you just like go and like me and like live your life. I have no problems doing that, but it's also been 10 years of me doing it, right? So if you're just starting out, remember that it's just one step at a time, one conversation at a time. And if you're a seasoned person, hopefully I'm giving you some information of different spots you never thought about. So looking for Eventbrite meetups, same thing. They have the connections that you can make there. Looking at the business directories for Ontario or any other province that you have to, they have that you're in, they have this as well. Startup communities, incubators. So looking for incubators, accelerators, co-working spaces. I know Pro has some of those as well around the different some of the different cities that you might be interested in. So okay. Let me just look at the chat because I was just rattling on here. Oh, that's great. Great, Brooke. We're just like, I like positivity, so you guys are like, that's so good. Okay. So I'll give you an example. So for LinkedIn, what I do is I draft myself an email that makes people feel good about themselves. So what essentially happens is, let's say I'm on an event like this, right? I'm going to look up everybody's names while I'm listening to stuff and add them. I'll be like, hi, I'm on the Paro event with you, and I just want to stay connected with people who are like-minded, and I'm excited to see your posts. If you do that one little thing instead of just add people, you will have people's attention. Maybe 1% of 10 will write back. I did that with a lady who I worked with at the school, and I was like a COVID person that like came on at Carleton. So what I did was any event that I was at, I would message and be like, hi, I'm new. Like, I'm just looking to connect. Da, da, da. One lady asked me for coffee. I'm like, sure, let's have coffee. Because there's nice people out there. There's people who might have time. There's people who might not, right? So she was like, let's have coffee. And then we chatted for a while. And she was telling me about what she did, which I had no idea that it was on campus, because like the campus is like a small city and there's so many things. I don't think if I worked there for 30 years, I would know everything. So what happened was she was from the ombudsman's office, which is the like voice for the students. So if they get in trouble with sparks, if they get housing or having housing situations, they're like, oh my God, I need help, my landlord's being crazy. They can connect with them. So I saw an opportunity for her to be a part of an onboarding kind of document for our students because ombudsman's wasn't even in there, and it's very important. So just from that one event, it helped her and she helped me, right? That one event, sorry, that coffee chat, I helped her and she helped me just by a casual chat. And there was probably, I'd say out of, I don't know, like maybe I went to a lot of events online. Maybe out of like 50 people, maybe 5 wrote back, but like who cares? They added me. They didn't write back. But like taking that small thing, just make yourself a small write-up. And if you don't like are not on something like this, you can just make it generic. You don't say I could say I connected with you on whatever. You could just say I looked at your profile and I find what you've done interesting, something like that. But you have to make it personable. It can't be like, if you had somebody message you, you'd be like, wow, these people are so nice. And one girl had messaged me too and said, like, I looked at your profile and I think that what we're doing together could connect in this way. And I was like, wow, she already told me what she wants to do. Of course, I'm going to meet with her. But if you're not telling people to, everybody just doesn't have so much time, right? That's how life is. We all know that. And adulting is not like, colleging. We all have so many things to do, I find. Like you have to plan like months in advance to hang out with your friends. So just think about that when you're trying to get somebody's time. So I hope that was helpful. So startup communities, incubators, we already talked about that. Oops. Online business directories. Oh, look, I put that in here twice for you. Extra important, I guess. Whoopsie. Again, it's on your document. I think online business directories was on there twice too. I like accentuating some things for you guys. But yeah, it's there. Okay. So on Facebook, there are many ways to connect to. There's like a group here in Ottawa called Ladies Who Lunch with like 25,000 babies in there. So there could be stuff like that too that's in and around your areas. It's not just a social thing on Facebook. Now, that being said, I would highly recommend LinkedIn more, but I mean, too, some people are on Facebook more. If you have a Facebook page for your business too, I find it hard sometimes adding myself as a person though. I find like with LinkedIn, it's your professional profile. Also with LinkedIn too, I also I'm happy about LinkedIn because whenever a student or somebody who wants to connect with me, I direct them there. So if they try to add me on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, I'm like, oh, I want to keep this professional. So that's also like a helpful way to kind of keep things separate because having a business is very busy, even if you're doing it part-time. So organization skills are like super important. But yeah, there's groups like that on Facebook as well. So Toastmasters International, so all over Canada, all over the world. This would be good for you if you were going out and like doing import and export stuff sometimes. Or anybody, but especially that because people are from all over the world. So you can connect with them. They have like conferences once a year that everybody can go through from Toastmasters. But what Toastmasters is it is to help professionals become better at public speaking. They have mock events where that you can lead a group with like, let's say you would have a team meeting. So it would be like pretend, right? But you would be up there speaking, and this is all professionals. So it could be business owners, it could be professionals just that work for the government, but maybe you have a service that can work for the government, so you don't know. It's basically thinking outside the box too to make these connections. The business network is one that is the largest organization internationally of referring. So it's a bunch of business owners who want to refer to each other. So in looking at that, it would be something that you could you could look into to be able to connect with people who want to refer to other people. So I have the Ontario Business Improvement Area Association, but I know Peril is Canada-wide now. So if you're tuning in from somewhere else, everywhere has business improvement areas. So depending on your business type, let's say that you want to, I know that Peril, like in Thunder Bay, has, let's say you do jewelry, okay? They have Canadian-made businesses put their stuff in there. I'm not sure if you still have it, Lori, but when I was working there, they did. So that's just an example.
Yeah, we do have
Here,
the B2B database, but it was in transition of moving to another platform, and it hasn't totally yet. But keep an eye out on the website though, and yeah, if anybody wants more information on it. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
no, it's cool. I'm good. Add anything you want in. So these are all the business improvement improvement areas for downtown in the area where you live. They are like kind of like Chamber of Commerce, but not really. So it's like a Chamber of Commerce, which is for organizations and businesses to all join in membership. Business improvement area also does that, but just for the downtown. So back to the jewelry, or if you make pottery or something like that, you could go into a business that might have the same type of, not same, but something that complements what you're selling. And you can ask them if you can put your stuff on their store and they can get 10% or something. So as mentioned before, people don't see these connections. You have to see them and put them in front of them and show them how they benefit from it. So, example, I talked to the Chamber of Commerce, but I volunteered for the Chamber of Commerce in Ottawa here. Again, free entrance as the staff, you can help, you get to know the chamber members who run the place. So whenever you need something, you could reach out to them, be like, hi, can you help me with this? And you know them. So like, for instance, one time I asked the girl if she had an Excel database of all the businesses, like an Excel file, where they could give it to me, but not all the information. She would just like their website, phone number, and she did. So I just asked and she gave it to me. So people will say no if they can't, but if they like you and you're personable, they will say, I'll help you as much as I can. And I think I helped her with something at that point too. I don't remember what it was, but if somebody's going to do something for you, think in your mind as best as you can, how can I help this person as well? Also investing in yourself. So I'm going like now this weekend to a retreat, and it's a women's retreat, and it's journaling and meditation and like saunas and sound baths and like connecting with the feminine energy and stuff. You need to take time for yourself to be rejuvenated as well. So I wanted to say this, whether it be professionally or personally, that's a very important part of taking time for yourself. So in this instance, when I go, I'm not really going to be working and thinking about business stuff. I might meet some nice people, some nice ladies, and learn about them and see how that can work. But that will be my focus, right? Obviously. But I have that in the back of my mind that something might, click. Also, this will give me, like, within the journaling, working on your inside stuff also helps you work on your outside stuff and like getting to do things and moving your professional life forward. So I just wanted to kind of add that in there. So remember that taking time for yourself will also help you with your business. So don't get going too hard or like stress yourself out a whole bunch and, because that will just not help. So that's just my little story about that. Eventbrite as well has all kinds of stuff. You could look up their conferences in your area if you wanted to, and see if there's any that you want to attend. There's all kinds of other things, like workshops online, things that you can get involved in that interest you. Now, Peril has Wednesday webinars, and you guys are all here, so congratulations. But those are free too. There's stuff on Eventbrite, obviously, that costs money, but if you really think you need to know about it, again, invest in yourself, go to that thing. You deserve to like gain the knowledge so that you can expand what you're doing. Meetup is more social. So like if you like volleyball or basketball or doing crafts or have a coin collection, you can go and meet up with people. There's like over like I think I don't know how many groups, a lot of groups. And you can create your own. So people just go on there and they get involved in a group. There's young professionals group, there's probably a women's group in your area. Who knows what's in there? So I'm giving you all these things. You obviously don't have to do all of them, right? Like there's no possible way that you can do it. So what I would say is to go to the booklet and check off ones that you think you would want to do that would be most beneficial to you, that would use your time most wisely, um, and kind of think about it on that way, depending on what your business is. Mm, For meetups, I actually joined a volleyball like meetup, which was fun. Um, and that like I was nervous to go. Like I hadn't played volleyball in a very long time, but I just tried to keep a positive mind that like people are going to be of all skill levels. And like in high school, I played and then I had a team after for a few years. But like our skills, sometimes we don't know how they are anymore, right? But you have to walk out of that and just go and see. The worst that can happen is nothing because you didn't go. So if you go and it's not for you, that's fine. You had your time there. You didn't feel like that was the spot for you to be. Cool. Moving on. Right. So think about it in that way. If you are having like overwhelming feelings about moving forward with going to something. And you have to think about it too. If it's your something that you're interested in, everybody there is interested in it. So you have something already you can talk about. So think about it in that instance as well. Lori, I was promoting your B2B database that you beat me to it. So I'm on here. If you haven't done that yet, this is a good place too to see other organization who are involved in wanting to sell their stuff. And so it's yeah, working together. Alignable is a small business association online platform where it's kind of like LinkedIn or Facebook, but you can connect there with people in your area. So it's specific to your area. People can add you on there. And it's kind of like LinkedIn, but smaller capacity. So if you want to kind of see who's in around your area, more what do you call it? Straight and forward. Yeah, that would be a good place to go. So there's the women's one as well for Canada. That organization as well is here to help you with various things for your business. The BPW one is an international women's kind of like Toastmasters. It's international, but it's only for women. So that's also something that you can look into connecting with people. Oh, as well. Okay, so be clear about what you're looking for and define the type of partner that you need. So are you looking, whoopsie, are you looking for, sorry, I got sidetracked with something else. Distributors, a technology partner, looking at the skills and experience they should possess. So preparing a concise pitch, so be ready to explain your business and what you're looking for to a partner. So this is looking at what you need to know before you pitch to somebody. So it's kind of going back to the beginning where I talked about the joint ventures, strategic alliances, co-branding. So it's sitting down and actually writing those things down. And then creating a script again as well. You can do that to be prepared. Do your due diligence. So before entering into any partnership agreement, thoroughly research potential partners and check their references. So look on, Google. I know that's from kind of people who have used their services, but if people who have used their services are giving good reviews, they're being honest, right? They don't get anything from like writing a review. So if it says nice things, it's probably a good partner to be in. That's one way you can look at it. Google's not necessarily, Google reviews is not but you can't remove them. So straight up. Um, um, yeah, check the references. I think too, like some businesses that you look at, right, they won awards. Maybe they have great uh, research properties that they research, like partnerships where they've connected and been able to be published in journals or things like that as well. This will help you increase your chances of finding the right business partner. And remember, I think I talked about this, that building strong partnerships takes time and effort. So as I mentioned, be patient and persistent. Um, they say that 1 in 10 people that you reach out to will answer you. So all of those other ones, the way that I look at life sometimes is like if I tried to do something and it didn't work, it just wasn't for me. And I move on. So don't be offended if somebody doesn't answer you. Don't feel like, why don't they want to partner with me? You have to look at what your goal is. And if somebody's not on board with that and they don't answer you, thank them for not wasting your time, essentially, right? Like you want to continue partnerships and move forward with people who want to do it with you. You find like-minded people who want to move forward and see how you can partner together. And those will be good partnerships because you're both gung-ho about it and excited, right? So when you get those people who don't answer, or like I'll give you an example. I've been asked to do some videos for an organization out of the UK who is starting a platform with immigration students who are coming to Canada. So they have a platform to help them get ready, help them come over, what to do. And so the students buy into that. So they want me to do the presentations for career stuff. So I also I also quoted a high amount of money and I felt like, Shane, well, what if they don't pick you? Well, what if they decide that they don't want to pay that much? What if, and I was like, you know what? You have 10 years experience. You just got bored and put out there what you want. And if it doesn't come back to you, that's okay. So just remember that what you're trying, and if things don't happen, I know that a lot of the time we get disappointed in ourselves. What did I do? Why didn't this happen for me? Da, 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 da. But there's always more opportunities if you just look for them. So I haven't heard back from them necessarily. They're that's not true. They're expanding another platform out into Australia, I think. So they're not doing Canada for like another couple months. They said we're really busy. Like in the next 3 weeks, we're going to do this. We got your stuff. And the way that I met that person was like 2 years ago, the CEO of it. And he told me like a year ago that he wants expanded to Canada. But he messaged me on LinkedIn and was like, hey, I want to know about the Canadian like international students and career services and like what you're doing. So we had a meeting and he remembered me from that. And when we had a meeting, I sent him a bunch of information about online career platforms and places, links to look for jobs. And I gave him a couple of connections that he could connect with at different schools. So I was looking how to help him too. So later on, like now, he'll remember me. Um, that's the way you get ahead, is by helping other people, to be honest with you. That's what's worked for me, and helped me move forward with my business. So yeah, that's an example of kind of that patience, persistence, and like I just let things go. They don't work out or something doesn't happen. Cool. Like moving on. And for me too, it's part-time though. So I know that some of you, if you do this full time, it might be more overwhelming for you because you're paying your bills with this and like you might have a family and things like that. But the fact of the matter is that once you put something in and you show all the goodness that you have and the things that you have to offer, if people make their decision, you couldn't change that. As long as you show up the best you can, give the best, I don't know, report, give the best proposal you can, do the things that you can do. Just remember, you don't get to make the decision on the other end. It's just like when you apply for a job, right? You get like rejection, like, oh my God, this is the worst. And then be sad about it for a day. And then what are you going to do next, right? Just get right back on it, to move yourself forward. sometimes we get down. And I know this is easier said than done, but like I'm motivating you, you know? So, okay, this is something that helped me a lot that I wanted to share with you. When I started my business, I reached out to request labor market information. And this is like, this is in your booklet. It's like the template is there, okay? So I learned about this. I think I did like a presentation at a library for business stuff. And I was like, what is this about? How do libraries do this stuff? And there was like a business person. And we had this at one of my jobs I used to work at like 7 years ago. And there was this one thing that they showed us, and I was like, oh my God, this is so great. So, what you do is they do labor market information for you. You don't even have to do it. You just have to ask for it, which is kind of crazy because like, really, there's something that can save me a bunch of time and give me all the information that I want. I was just like floored, honestly, when they were telling us about this. So I asked for, because this is when I first started and I wanted to see how many, so this is for me and doing my career coaching. So I asked for business planning information. I think that was before I joined Payroll, but I was a client at Payroll before I actually became a staff member. So they sent me a bunch of links to different business plans and like where I could go and future entrepreneur and like different things like that. They can only do one industry profile per client. So mine was career coaching. You can't ask for a bajillion because this stuff takes them time. And I think they probably have a lot of, well, if people know, a lot of requests for it. So they help you with the general demographic and spending trends for the city you are operating in and what sectors people are spending money in. So if you're at the beginning of like starting your business, like I know one person was in here saying like, I'm just starting groceries. So this can like really help. Yeah, they give you the spending for this city you're operating in. They give you information about potential competitors, and their license only allows them to give you 50 competitors per client. But like, this is all the people, 50 people who have businesses like you in your area. Now, if you live in a small city, probably that they only can give 20 maybe, or maybe 10, or who knows. Maybe there would be 200 that you could get to know about, but this gives you a starting point. Also, so for here, it's the Federal Economic Development Agency of Southern Ontario. So this is the number for the lady that actually contacted me. It was actually like a person. It wasn't a generic thing. She was like, you know, sorry it took so long. It wasn't generic. So that's, I just put that for Southern Ontario. I don't know like where you're living, but there will be a Federal Economic Development Agency for your province or whatever. So if you want to talk to somebody, you can do that. Or you can just request it like I did. So I'm giving you the email. That's for Ontario, like I mentioned. But, and this, I'm sharing this because this is what I know and I can't do it for every province and put it in here. But you can look that up as well. And you, on this other link, you can find your local business center in your area that the federal government is part of as well. And this is in your booklet as well. Like this slide is in your booklet. So you have that if you want to do that. I highly recommend it, to be honest with you. It was very helpful for me to know what's taking place around here. Okay. So labor market research assistance. So this is what I also told you. They give you the profiles. Like I said, this was done quite a while ago, and I guess that I don't know. 2020, maybe I didn't do it so long ago. Probably I did in 2021. Or anyways, this is what I got back. I thought I did it so long ago. Anyways, so it must have been that I learned that and then I started my business later because my business only been like 5 years. Anyways, that's just give me insight in 6 years. So this is the profile demographics snapshot of people who live there. Are they men, women, over the age of this, senior citizens? Estimates and projections. So population trends, household trends, where do people buy stuff? Like this is like the census, I think, that they send out and they like want you to fill out and say how many people are in there and do you use Dove soap and blah blah blah. So the home language of people, what they talk, the language that they speak, sorry, labor force by occupation, income trends, mobility status, all this stuff. So yeah. So that's something that they give as well to help you in the Ottawa area. Like, so good, right? So they gave me 50 people. I'm giving you an example of one. This is all the information that you get. So some people might look at this as, oh my gosh, my competition, that. The way that I'm looking at this is we can be referral partners. Maybe I'm really good, like I did at Career Services, somebody else is our CIC. Maybe these people do career services. Like for me, I do career services in settlement counseling. Maybe somebody does it just for high school students. Maybe somebody does it just for women. Like for me, I do it just for immigrants. So maybe that's the way of looking at it and pitching it. So if that's kind of a little bit of your confusion as to how to connect this, that's what I would do. Yeah, so in looking at that, that's what you kind of do for that. So it gives you all this information. And then they just added a bonus. They gave me this job training career counseling in Canada. It gave me a whole bunch of information of just like overview of the industry report of this for Canada. I didn't even ask for that. So they have all this information, and the important thing is to get the experts who have the information so you're not wasting your time. So these people are the experts. We pay for this through all of our taxes as well. So I'd like to suggest that you use it. Even if you're like established, it's still good information to know at any level that you're at right now, good information to know. So look at defining mutual goals and objectives, identify risks and the rewards that you'll get, draft clear terms and agreements, ensure ongoing communication and adjustments if needed. So in the booklet, I've put in a collaboration agreement. This is a short one. I honestly took this from ChatGPT. So if you copy and paste it and you want a longer one with more information or more, terms and conditions or whatever, you could do that. But I just pulled this one as a small one, a short one, so that you can kind of see it. And maybe some partners, maybe it's going to be a giant collaboration and maybe it's going to be worth multi-million dollars or something, which hopefully, I hope for you that happens. Maybe you want a longer one with more things in it. Maybe if you're going to work on social media together and you get 10% and they get 10% or it's 50-50, to have that in there is good because later on, if the money doesn't get distributed in the same way, I would also really work with your intuition. When you meet with people, do you like them? Do they seem like they're somebody who cares about what they're doing in the right way? Are they passionate about it? Okay, so in your booklet, I'm gonna give you like 3 minutes, which isn't a long time. But I want you to look at specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant and time-bound goals. So if we go on here, there's an action plan for what specific steps you have to take to achieve it. So by what date? What is your goal in 1 sentence? The benefits of achieving this goal. Then there's 3 to-do items. By when? The date you're going to complete it. I would highly suggest that you do the labor market one as one of your goals, but up to you. So then you're looking at what obstacles and challenges, like what is going to be a problem around here? Do I have children? Do they have their, all their basketball games on Tuesdays and Thursdays? And how am I going to, this is looking at that. And maybe I have 2 jobs and I want to start a business and my time is like, kind of hard to deal with that. So I'm going to give you like, not so many, but like 4 minutes to do it. So I want you to do 1 goal and fill those out. So yeah, so do 1. We're going to come back and we're going to share them. And, well, you know what, as you do it, if you're finished, share it in the chat and then we'll go through a few of them with everybody together. So just looking at what you're going to do, when, and when you're going to complete it. So you're putting in just that when you put it in the chat, but I want you to fill out at least one now. So you have a goal. We want to like get things done around here. So I'm going to give you some time to do that. We'll come back at 11:58. Okay. See you in a couple of minutes. Guaranteed. Okay, I'm back. I don't see any in the chat. So if some people could share, just a few people, if you're comfortable putting it in the chat, I want to know that people have plans because I'm excited for you to like do things around here and get stuff done. In the meantime, I do have a career coaching business, but I also do some mentoring and things like that if you want to look into it. Also, I invite everybody to put their LinkedIn in the chat and make some connections right now. Get some more followers, do some more things. So if people don't want to put in the chat, would anybody like to share in over the microphone? You're more than welcome to do that as well. Okay, bummer, but I hope you worked on it for the last 4 minutes. I just want to leave you with a reminder that like don't freak out about the future. Put it this way, what's going to happen is already there. It's whatever you decide it to be. All you have to do is focus on now and the little pieces that will get you to where you want to be. So one step at a time. And you know, you guys are gonna be like great and you're gonna do super awesome things. So just remember that. Alana, thanks for sharing. So meet with the lawyer to go over our business. Maybe you didn't have a lot of time for me. So it's not a lot of time to think about it all. Meet with the lawyer to go over our business registry, having our store name official. Whoa, I like all these. You have a lot of good goals right now. And have the ball rolling on getting our name out. Yes, Queen, do it. So specific to partner with a local jewelry maker to have their pieces for sale in the store. Love to feature indigenous speakers specifically. That, you know what, that is totally fine. Look, I am just happy that you wanted it. Meet with the venue around building a new network event. Wow, that's such a great idea too. These are really good ideas and you are gonna rock it. And I'm so happy that you all came today and I believe in you. So if there is anything else that anybody wants to share, feel free. I know it's 12:01 and like we are busy people and have things to do, but I'll pass it back to you, Lori.
No, I was just going to say thank you very much for this. These are great ideas and great connections. And I would never thought of some of these, so it's really good. I learned something today as well. So, but if there's no other questions, thanks everybody for joining us today. Please check out our website. It has our Wednesday webinars on there. If you would like to maybe present a topic at a Wednesday webinar or have a topic that you would like to hear presented, let me know. You could send an email to, it's all one word, makingadiffrence@paro.ca, and we can look at that. And anyways, so thanks again, Shay. I'd love to have you back.
One more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing. Lori's gonna send out a feedback form. It would really make me feel good if you guys could share your feedback because too, I need to know if there's anything I need to fix. I don't know everything, right? Like I'm just learning as I go as well, and then sharing the information that I found. And it also lets me know what I'm doing well, right? So I would really appreciate it if you took the time to do that or shoot emails about that. As well, Olivia, I see this. I know about this stuff that you're talking about. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn and reach out to me, we can have like a 15-minute chat. I do have like partnership meetings on my website. So if you want to reach out to me, feel free to do that. And we can also look at ways that we could possibly do something together. So see, like sharing your goals is great. Okay. Bye. Have a lovely day. And it was a pleasure meeting all of you. And I hope to see you out and about at some point in life. So bye. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.